But I wanted to start off with Manchester United, the sack race for Ten Hag. It's been very well reported. He has 2 games to potentially turn this situation around, but it feels like he's a dead man walking. A short list of managers have been made, and himself, he's come out today just talking about how he still has faith, how he still thinks he's going to turn this around. But Mo, from your point of view, can he turn this around in your opinion?
You guys are finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Listen, I actually don't know why people still trust INEOS. Ten Hag should have been sacked in the tunnel again. Okay, I don't know how many times, Man United fans, I don't know how many times I have to say this. This is probably the 4th time. It started with Bournemouth, and I said it on the match reaction, right? And now it started with Crystal Palace, and I said it. Liverpool, now Spurs. Man United are not acting like a big club. People don't understand that Man United now, I know that he won't turn it around, right? Erik Ten Hag will get sacked in this international break, right? The problem is going to happen if he wins as a fluke against Porto. Or he wins as a fluke against Aston Villa away. If Oli Watkins and John Duran have off days and Man United win 1-0, which can happen in football, I've seen things like this, he will stay. And we will be sitting here again in December, carrying the match reaction, screaming and yelling, as veins pop in, and we don't know what to do. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. We have seen this movie 50 times again for Man United again, like over the last year. He's going to get sacked. He's going to turn it around. He's going to get sacked, and then he turns it around. He doesn't turn it around ever, by the way. These scammer win here and there. I'm just going to say it again. INEOS don't have credit in the bank. Man United fans are treating INEOS as they have credit in the bank. Terry said earlier this season, I'm going to give them a clean slate. A clean slate is different than credit in the bank. INEOS at the current moment are in the negative, not the positive, not 0. They are in the negative. Their first thing that they did is keeping Ten Hag. And now everyone is turning against him. And I'm going to say this again. INEOS folded to the letters that were sent to Man United. I believe, though. So you cannot be interviewing 6-7 managers and then at the end keeping Ten Hag.
Can I ask you a question? Can I jump in there for a second? Because I understand your point. You say we're finished. Of course, we're not. Everything's recoverable. When you say that we shouldn't trust INEOS are all at fault, you're allowed to believe that they succumbed to the letters that were sent through. I mean, that isn't what the reports say, but you're allowed to believe that. What should Man United fans be doing? If INEOS are not to be trusted, if INEOS are no different from the Glazers, if INEOS, you've said that even if he wins but struggles over the line, he'll keep his job. What are Man United fans to do now, in your opinion? Because you've said that our owners are incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to give this man another chance. Because they haven't sacked him already, that proves that they're essentially incompetent. What should Man United fans be doing, in your opinion, to resolve this situation?
Couple of things. Number one, Man United, if you consider yourself a big club, I believe Man United fans should act like other fans around in the world, like in Italy and France. I know English fans are different, but I believe all football fans around in the world are the same. Protest in the stadium. Big banners asking him out. Don't be nice, Man United fans. If you consider yourself a big club, don't be nice. Boycott. Send letters. Everyone sign petitions like what they did. Why did Man United fans do this to keep Ten Hag, but they don't want to do it? And I hate this notion, and I'm sorry. I hate this notion that is going around. That is, I don't want to ask for the man to lose his job. If this guy gets sacked, he will get paid. He will get paid. Compensation, right? He is not competent to lead Manchester United. And when I never said your owners are finished. I said your owners are in the negative now. You said
Man
your
United.
Club is finished. Yeah, that was
the club's finished. Yeah,
the club is finished now. And as long as Erik Ten Hag is here, you're finished. I don't think he's going to turn it around. And I don't see any Man United fan.
I agree with that. I agree. If Ten Hag stays, that's going to be the case. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
LB said yesterday that his view is that INEOS are essentially, he believes what and there's always a risk to it. And I think anything a club does, there's always a risk to it. Okay. There's always it can go well, it can go wrong for everybody, right? But his view is, and I think there is at least some credit to this train of thought, that let him have these last few games. He isn't going to turn it around, even if he grabs some lucky wins. And by the end of it, it will erode almost all support internally and externally for the manager, meaning it's an absolute cleaner break away from him as an individual. And the reason why I bring that up, that's what LB said. That's a Man City fan, not a Manchester United fan putting it out there. There are United fans that think exactly the same as you. But the only reason I can't be as negative about it as you are is we don't know what we don't know yet. And of course they're going to make mistakes. INEOS. In this rebuild, they're going to get some signings wrong. They may get some managerial appointments wrong. They'll get some commercial deals wrong. Most of us won't give a damn about that. These things will happen. There isn't a single club right now in England at the top of its game who, when it started the process of building what it has now, didn't make mistakes. So I think for me, I think United fans should push for the manager to go. Absolutely. But I think going completely over the top, turning on the new ownership and having zero patience in what we're doing at the moment, I think would be a step too far. There hasn't been enough mistakes made by INEOS, I think, to start protesting them at this particular moment. Personally, I get your point of view and you could absolutely be right. At the same time, I think we've got to give them time. We all knew this was going to be a 2 to 3 year process to get us back to the top. And this is very much part of that process. If every time a mistake happens, or if every time there's a bump in the road, we're protesting, pulling our money away, kicking off and screaming, will we not? And I want to throw this to Sam as well. Will we not create that impatient environment that you guys you both spent the whole summer saying would kill Chelsea if we act that way?
I get what you're saying. And look, I was one of the people in the summer that said I would keep Ten Hag, and I explained my logic behind it. I said, listen, sometimes the market dictates what you do. You don't really have options out there. And I understood where people are coming from who wanted to keep Ten Hag. Now, I know even you yourself didn't want to keep Ten Hag, Terry. No. But I said I understand where the people who wanted to keep him are coming from. They're talking about, sorry. They're talking about essentially the fact that, there aren't that many better options on the market. 2 trophies in 2 years. Give the man patience. We're sick and tired of sacking managers. But I get it. But now the problem is, essentially what's happened this season is you've given Ten Hag the opportunity. You've went like, listen, Ten Hag, there's all this pressure. We've interviewed other managers. No one that we've interviewed is that much better than you. So we're going to give you the chance. We're going to give you the opportunity. The question now becomes the following. At which point in time do you recognize that it's actually the manager's fault? At which point in time do INEOS take a step back and go like, you know what? We messed up. This is not the manager that's going to take us forward. This is not the manager that's going to take us to the next level. And now we must change him. And that for me is the bigger question here. And look, maybe Man United should have went and got a Ruben Amorim. Maybe Man United should have went and got maybe a Scott McKenna, whatever. Just someone who can, maybe give you a new bloodline, something else to talk about. And even the people who started this season as Ten Hag inners are now questioning it. So most of the people I've seen are either fully like Ten Hag out now, or at least they're questioning it. They're going like, maybe the manager's at fault. But here's the issue you have. And the issue is the following. Mo said something at the start of his Man United are finished monologue. What if you do go beat Porto? And what if you do go beat Aston Villa? Then what happens? Then does everyone's energy change? Then do the fans' energy change? And then does the ownership's energy change? Because we know in the Carragher Neville podcast, I watched it, and he said, look, Carragher and Neville's fight was over the word bottled it in the summer. And the situation is the following. Man United went interviewed managers. Man United went and spoke to managers. We know about 3, 4, 5 names that they've spoken to. We know managers that they've spoken to. So we know that they've tried actively to replace the guy, which shows that they've had those doubts anyway.
And just to interject very quickly, and it has now come out in the last few days that Thomas Tuchel actually turned us down, not the other way. And you're seeing more of those stories now emerge, that it was more we got told no, which was more to your point in the summer, Mo, that people were saying no to us, than it was us. So I think there's an element of truth to both sides here.
I don't know why.
Hang on, let me just finish the point of the story, just so we have the knowledge. Is what they're essentially saying is the 2 or 3 names on the list that you would say they could be much better than Ten Hag said no. The names that we probably said, we'll give Ten Hag a try, are the sort of McKenna level managers where it's fair to say, well, maybe not. He probably isn't ready. Let's stick with the current manager. So I think it's important to, when it comes to that argument about did Man United bottle it or not. Remember, this coming from Carragher, and a lot of people are backing that because they don't like. This is the same man who told players to stop signing for Chelsea a few weeks ago. Look how crazy that opinion looks now. And I agree with you. I am so intrigued to see what happens if we win these next 2 games. What I would love to see happen is, this is ideal for me based on how I think Ten Hag will progress. Win, lose or draw, play well or play badly, I don't believe he'll ever make us a consistent team. That's my belief. So therefore, what I would like to happen is to win these next 2 games by hook or by crook, and then for him still to be removed. That's an idealistic situation for me, because it means we get the points, which is important to us as a club, but it also shows the performance is the key component for Dan Ashworth and Barada and for INEOS, as an example. Of course, in a magic wand environment, I want Ten Hag to turn this around and prove me wrong, because why would anybody in their heart of hearts want to lose? Of course, I want to be wrong about this situation. So part of me is intrigued to see what happens if and when we do win. Because let's say we play poorly, but we scrape 2 mad 1-0 victories, and then we still say performances aren't good enough when he moves along. Would that not change everybody's opinion again on INEOS? And the reason why I point that out is I think people's opinion is going to keep changing on INEOS depending upon the results in the here and now, as opposed to waiting for this situation to marinate and to cook. Because when we kept Ten Hag, it was they're crazy. Then we were signing some good players in the summer, and everybody said, wow, they're acting like a big club. Now suddenly they're back to being crap again. The way in which we sack this manager and our form after sacking him, if indeed it happens, will probably change people's minds again. And where have we seen this before recently? We've seen it with Chelsea's owners. We saw it with Arteta and Edu. We still see it with Arteta and Edu now. 3 weeks ago, Arsenal's season was over. Edu was a bum. What have they done with this squad? Now everybody's saying they're unstoppable. They could win everything. So I get the criticism. I think the points hold water, but I think having an overarching, fully formed opinion on INEOS and how they're running Man United is exceedingly premature at this moment. What isn't too early is the fact that Ten Hag has to go. That I completely concur with at every single level. And in my opinion, there's very little he can do to change my mind, because I don't believe we're ever going to become consistent under him.